Hi, my name is Lee Hensel.
And I'm Joe Bolick. We're with the Iowa Waste Reduction Center at the University of Northern Iowa. Food waste is not only an issue in Iowa, but throughout the country. In this video, we're going to talk about the food waste problem, as well as hear from some people around the state who are doing something about it.
The Iowa Department of Natural Resources routinely conducts waste characterization studies, where they actually analyze what is being thrown into the landfills and categorize the waste streams.
Did you know in 1998, food waste accounted for more than 225,000 tons of landfill waste, which was approximately 10% of all municipal solid waste. And by 2011, that number increased 62% to nearly 360,000 tons, or almost 13.5%.
That's why this is such a huge problem for a number of reasons, including the fact that landfill food waste generates significant methane gas emissions, which have a much greater environmental impact than carbon dioxide.
It was based on these facts that the Iowa Waste Reduction Center developed the Iowa Food Waste Reduction Project in 2013.
Funded through the Iowa Department of Natural Resources Solid Waste Alternatives Program, this project aimed to educate large generators of food waste through the development of online resources and by conducting in-person workshops across the state.
As a part of our project, we conducted a large-scale survey to find out the challenges Iowa organizations faced in implementing a food waste reduction program.
Two significant factors rose above the others: cost and a lack of education.
So now what? Well, to combat the food waste problem, the United States Environmental Protection Agency has come up with this hierarchy for food recovery. Let's take some time to hear what some individuals are doing in Iowa to meet these needs.
First, we'll hear from Liz Christiansen at the University of Iowa talking about what they have done to reduce food waste at the source.
Hillcrest Dining Services is our second largest dining area on campus and serves about 3,200 meals a day to students and faculty. The director of food services at Hillcrest decided to go trayless in the dining area. The staff was washing about 4,000 trays a day and no longer doing that, saving even more water. And the interesting thing about going trayless is that it allowed students to really only take what they need when they go through the food line. The result of that was that the manager is really ordering less food in the first place, saving about 5% of his overall food budget per year, which equals about $100,000 in savings.
Now let's hear from Linda Scheid from the Food Bank of Siouxland to talk about what they are doing to help feed hungry people.
We have a very critical role in trying to make sure everyone in our community has enough food to eat, because what we do as a food bank is we pull food together from a lot of resources and we bring it into our warehouse, and then we turn around and distribute it, not to individuals and families, but to the agencies that serve those individuals and families. Another area that's grown and changed for us dramatically in the last couple of years is what we call the Retail Store Donation Program. We have retail stores throughout our community that would be throwing away product. It would just be going to the landfill until they found out they could donate it to us. And so they do a great job. Most of the time they freeze it first, which of course extends the shelf life of the product. And once it's frozen and we pick it up in a frozen state and we bring it back and put it in our freezers, then that's meat and that's all kinds of other products, breads, cakes, all kinds of things that can then be distributed to people in need.
The next steps in the EPA hierarchy are to turn food waste into animal feed, then to find industrial uses for the waste. For instance, New York City was in the news recently because they are going to start accepting food waste at the Newtown Wastewater Treatment Facility in Brooklyn, where they have 8 massive biodigesters generating methane gas, which in turn is being used to heat homes and generate electricity.
The final step before sending food waste into the landfill is composting. Let's hear what Tom Connolly from the Bluebird Diner in Iowa City is doing in this regard.
We decided to try something in composting. We've had the restaurant here for 5 years, and in those years we've noticed, myself, my partner, the people that work here, noticed that we wind up, unfortunately, throwing away a lot of food. And in my mind, that is, in some sense, a valuable resource, and we thought if we could capture that and reintroduce it into the world at large and make it a usable project, I think it would be a good thing, or we thought it would be a good thing. So the ongoing process, as we witnessed one brief moment of it, is the plates are cleared from the table, brought back to the dump station, and put in the appropriate receptacle. So you need special bags. They are compostable bags, which are fractionally but not terribly more expensive than regular garbage bags. And then the non-compostables, which go into a regular garbage can, regular trash bag. At the end of a shift, when we need to take the garbage out, the garbage is tied off out to the back and placed in the appropriate receptacle.
Last but not least, we'll listen to Jen Jordan from the Iowa City Landfill and Recycling Center to see what they are doing on their end.
We've really worked to reach out to our local grocery stores and restaurants to start diverting food waste. And part of the sales pitch, frankly, is that it's cheaper to compost. The difference in cost is from our average rate for tipping fees at the landfill is $40 a ton. Our organics tip rate is 24 tons, so there can be a significant cost savings there. The issue is that there's often not a hauler in the area to provide the service. The beauty of it is we have a huge demand for our end product. So over the past few years, as our numbers for organics have gone up, so have our sales of organics. And starting in 2010, from 2010, 11, and 12, we actually ran out of compost, and that was the first time that it ever happened. It was also the impetus for us to raise our prices. We doubled our prices from 2012 to 2013, from $10 a ton, which is about a pickup load of finished compost, to $20 a ton. And we didn't sell out in 2013, but we had a lot more supply build up too. So I think there's a couple factors working there.
As you can see on this map, we have 43 municipal solid waste landfills across the state. However, only 4, including the folks we just heard from in Iowa City, actually have food waste composting operations in place.
Moving forward, we know steps must be taken to reduce food waste and divert it from the landfills. The excessive amount of food waste generated is a burden on our economy. But with the right education and policy in place, we can effectively reduce food waste and transform it from a waste into a resource.